Let's go to Dumbledore. Dumbledore defined reverse dieting the best. What Dumbledore said in Hogwarts of History, Bathilda Bagshot wrote and quoted Dumbledore as saying, reverse dieting is strategically increasing your calories in order to improve your body composition. That's all it is. And we're gonna get deeper in that, okay? Dumbledore went on to talk about more. We're gonna discuss it more in depth, so stay with me. Professor Flitwick has some interesting things to say about reverse dieting. And he's a charmer, pun intended. If you get that pun, you are a true Harry Potter fan and I fucking love you. If you get that pun, tell me in the comment section that you got that. He's a real charmer. And Professor Flitwick, standing atop all of his books in charms class, he spoke about reverse dieting. And a lot of students were questioning whether or not it worked. And he said, it does work, it absolutely works. But remember, it's not magic. Muggles can use it too. It's not a wave of a wand, it's not a magic pill or a potion. It's a very simple strategic way for muggles and squibs and witches and wizards to improve their body composition. Now, Luna Lovegood, she wanted to expand on that. She wanted to talk about, okay, yes, reverse dieting works, and yes, it's not magical, but what is the biggest myth associated with reverse dieting? What do people believe that isn't truly accurate? And you need to understand this, because if you don't, you won't actually understand why reverse dieting works. A lot of proponents of reverse dieting, they'll say, I must have been in starvation mode because I wasn't eating enough calories, and as soon as I increased my calorie intake, I lost weight. On the surface, and logically you'd think, well, that makes sense. You must have been in starvation mode, eating too little, increase your calories, and then you lose weight. That must have been it. You increase your metabolism. But let me ask you a question. Let's say, for example, that you weigh in on the scale one day and the scale spikes up, goes up 2, 3, 4 pounds. You know, logically, doesn't mean it's fat gain. Just because the scale went up doesn't mean you're gaining fat. So if you increase your calories and the scale goes down, logical reasoning stands to say that that doesn't necessarily mean it's fat. Now think about this. If you're in a very steep calorie deficit and you hit a plateau and you're not losing weight and you slightly increase your calories, a lot of times what will happen is you will lose weight because your body is flushing out water. Sometimes when your body is stressed, it will hold on to water so the scale won't budge. So by increasing your calories sometimes, the scale will go down. Also, and this is also very important, let's say for example you're eating 1,200 calories and your weight's not going down. Some people might say, you're in starvation mode, you're in starvation mode. Sounds like something Draco Malfoy would say or something like that. You're in starvation mode. Number one, starvation mode doesn't exist, and I'll explain why in a second. Let's say you go from 1,200 calories and you increase to 1,500 calories. And then your weight starts going down. Your pants start fitting better. You're able to sustain that 1,500 calories better. People might say, oh, increasing your calories is what you need in order to lose fat. But just because you increase your calories doesn't mean you're not still in a calorie deficit. And this is what a lot of people miss. Just because you go from 1,200 to 1,500 or 1,300 to 1,700 or whatever the number may be doesn't mean you're not still in a calorie deficit. And this right here is the magic of reverse dieting. Just because you're increasing your calories doesn't mean that you were in starvation mode. All it means is that you're increasing your calories, and odds are you're still in a calorie deficit, so you're still losing fat and also water, and you're reducing stress. And let's not forget, you're able to sustain it better. And the more you're able to sustain it, the better off you're gonna do with it. Now, why doesn't starvation mode exist? There are many reasons for this. I actually did an entire episode with Dr. Spencer Nadolsky on this. I'll put the link to that in the description below, and he completely breaks down why it's a myth. But just from logical reasoning perspective, have you ever seen a prisoner of war who was stuck or captured eating very few calories in a very high stress situation who got fat? You don't see it, it doesn't exist. And a lot of people get really mad, well, that's different. Why? Why is it different? People say, oh, well, if you're eating 1,200 calories and your stress is really high, then you're gonna be in starvation mode. Your body's gonna hold on to fat. Well, is being in a prisoner of war camp not stressful? Is 400 calories a day, is that not starvation mode, but 1,200 calories a day is starvation mode? Like, what is the line? Where are we drawing this line? How do we come to this logical reasoning? Case in point, starvation mode doesn't exist. Reverse dieting works because you're increasing your calories while staying in a calorie deficit so that you can sustain that deficit longer, reduce your stress, and continue to lose fat.